Hey, this is Vinay. I'm gonna make good vegetable biryani, uh, Hyderabadi style. All right, I'm gonna show you what to do and how to cook the rice for the Hyderabadi biryani because I've not seen it in any videos on YouTube. So I'll show you exactly how to do it. But then the first thing you do is slice the onions. Get some nice heavy knife and slice the onions as thin as possible. We're gonna fry these onions in oil. You could use vegetable oil or canola oil and then make them nice crispy golden brown and then keep them aside. Yeah, these are the kind of potatoes I use. These are, I don't know, they call them red potatoes or whatever. I don't use the brown ones because they're not hard enough for the biryani. So I use these. Along with this, I use carrots, green peas, green beans, um, and then cauliflower. You can put anything you want basically, as long as that veggie does not have too much water in it. I'm gonna fry these veggies after I cut them. I'll show you how I do it. Alright, so these are the kind of potatoes you need to choose. So I'm gonna make the biryani in this big size turkey roaster, and I'm gonna use oil which is equivalent to this cup. This is the big IKEA cup, and then I use at least 14 cups of basmati rice for this. So yeah, this is the quantity. It will easily feed like maybe 10-15 people. So I just found out that I don't have vegetable oil, so I'm gonna use olive oil. Yeah, and then let's get it started. As we go along, I'll try to keep it as short as possible, and then anytime you can make this at home. Yeah, it takes a little bit of effort, and you need to have passion to make biryani. So in order to make good biryani, you need the passion, not a recipe. All right, so this chopped coriander, chopped mint leaves. Now you need to wash the leaves, squeeze the water out, and then chop them. I'm using 2 green chilies. You can use more if you want to. That's fresh peas. I'll use half of the lemon in the marinade and half on the rice. I've already fried my onions, so I took them out with that steel spoon, and then I squeezed with a wooden spoon, put it on the plate and spread it out just to aerate it. And then I got the oil out of the pan, and these are the veggies I'm going to use: carrots, green beans, potatoes, cauliflower, red capsicum and green capsicum. So you spread, and the peas obviously will go in that empty space. So you fill out the bowl and spread the veggies maybe 1 inch thick or 1.5 inch thick, so that you have enough vegetables. And then when you marinate it with curd and everything, maybe it'll rise to half the pan, half the height of the pan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry the potatoes, beans, carrots and peas in a pan of oil, a little bit of oil, and then I just stir fry them a little bit, not a lot, just to make the outside a little bit crispy, so that it doesn't break off when you marinate. That'll give it a nice taste. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to marinate this with ginger garlic paste, garam masala, red chili, curd, and then obviously some salt and a little bit of turmeric, and then some jeera powder, which gives it a nice taste. And I'm gonna put half of these fried onions in the marinade and half of that oil in the marinade, and then leave it for like maybe 15-20 minutes, because this is not meat. It doesn't take a lot of time for it to get marinated. I mean, even if you leave it for a long time, it won't make much of a difference. So let's get going. So when you're making mutton or chicken biryani, you wash the chicken, squeeze the chicken so that the water is out, squeeze it with your hand. After you leave it in a drying pan for like maybe 15-20 minutes. The chicken or mutton should not have any water, and then you spread the chicken or mutton in this pan about one layer or a little bit till maybe here. That's how you know like you got enough chicken or mutton inside the pan. All right. Okay. I stir fried the potatoes, put them back in. I fried the carrots, beans and the peas together, and then put that back in. Now I'm going to marinate that. I'm going to use cloves, and then the cinnamon, and then some garam masala powder, that's shajira powder, and then ginger garlic. The ginger garlic paste we make it at home. We mix it with a ratio of 2:1 by weight. 2 times garlic, 1 time ginger. Like if you're using 2 pounds of garlic, you put 1 pound of ginger, and then grind it together. Don't put water in it while grinding, and add some salt as a preservative. So I'm going to marinate this and then show you what I do. So how much ginger garlic paste should I put? I put like 6 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste, and I mix it up so that it touches almost all the veggies. So that's how you know. But usually I don't do it that way. Just for the sake of video, I'm doing it like that. And then same thing with the curd, and then maybe I'll put 3 or 4 spoons of chili powder, 3 spoons or 4 spoons of salt. That's the teaspoon. And then a little bit of turmeric, and then I squeeze the half of the lemon and put half of that, and half of that oil, the fried onion oil, inside the marinade. And then a pinch of jeera powder and garam masala powder. So I'll show it to you when it's done. Right. So I put like maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of yogurt. Only the hard yogurt with no water. I only use whole milk, plain yogurt. And then I put everything in there. By the way, that's shajira powder. Alright, everything is in there. I poured half of the oil, and I put half of the onions. I put half of the coriander and the mint leaves. So everything is in there. Now you mix it up, and you can taste it for the spice and the salt. You can adjust that according to your need. But right here, all the smells, the smell of the mint, the ginger garlic, and half of the lemon juice and everything. When you taste it, you should be able to taste ginger garlic paste, lemon juice, curd, some chili and salt and everything. So you can taste it, and to make sure that it tastes good. But yeah, if you're an expert, you don't need to do that. But yeah, you can taste it. So let me mix it up. Yeah, so I added like 2 or 3 or 4 more spoons of curd, because when you put the oil, you won't see the curd, because when I put half of the oil, so it so the consistency should be like this. I mean, look at the gravy kind of stuff that's touching each of the veggies. And my teaspoon, I'm not using a teaspoon, it's a little bit smaller than a teaspoon, so that's what I use. So I added more chili powder and salt because I taste it by just doing that and licking that. So it rocks right now. So I could taste the ginger garlic, the lemon, and everything right here. When you lick it, you can tell how your biryani is gonna be. That's about it. You'll know right now like how good or bad it's gonna be. So make sure you take the time and make sure you do it good, and then I'll show you how to cook the rice. We'll be cooking the rice. I'll soak the rice in water for like maybe 20 minutes, basmati rice, and then after soaking it, I'm gonna boil the rice in 3 times the water, and what all I'm gonna add in the water and everything I'll be telling you. All right. Okay, so I've soaked like 14 cups of royal basmati rice. I'm not advertising royal basmati, but that's what I have right now. And then this is the utensil that I'm going to use for draining the water out of the rice once it's boiled. In this utensil, it's too big, but may not be so big. I mean, you can use a smaller one. I put 3 times the volume of rice, 3 times the volume of water. That's equivalent to the volume of rice. I mean, if you're putting 1 cup of rice, this water needs to be 3 cups of water. So accordingly, I put that. In that, I put 5 bay leaves. I'm gonna put 5 cardamom, 5 cloves, 3-4 pieces of cinnamon, a pinch of garam masala, a pinch of shajira powder, 2 teaspoons of oil so that the rice doesn't stick to each other, and then I'm gonna also put something called biryani ka phool. Yeah, this is the biryani ka phool that you get from Hyderabad. I don't know if you get it here, but I have it, so I use it. So I put everything in there in the water, let the water boil. When the water is boiling, then I'll drain the water from the soaked rice, put it in the boiling water, and I'll watch it. I'll stand there and stand closely and explain to you when to get the rice out and put it in this. Alright, the water is coming to a boil. I put everything in there, a pinch of garam masala, 5 cardamoms, 5 cloves, cinnamon, 5 bay leaves, 2 teaspoons of oil, and then I put that marination right beside it, and also I put like 5 teaspoons of salt in it. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of salt, but then when you drain out the water, the salt that gets dissolved in the water goes away with it, so you won't feel it. So regarding the marination, if you're marinating chicken, as I said, you squeeze the chicken hard. Make sure the ginger garlic paste touches every piece of chicken. Then you put little curd for the chicken because the chicken oozes out a lot of water. And if you're using mutton, goat meat, yeah, you still squeeze the goat meat with bone. And then you can put a little bit more curd in goat meat than in chicken. And then let's say you put more curd, then the first layer of rice you make sure that it's less cooked, so you have to use somewhat of your intelligence to get the hang. You'll get it 1 or 2 times you make it. You can make in small quantities to begin with, like 2 or 4 cups of rice, and you can get this oven shaped turkey vessel. You get a smaller one too. There's a medium size and the small one too. This is the big one. So, alright. Pretty soon when the water comes to a boil, I'll be putting the rice that has been soaking in it, and then I'll show you when to take out the rice. So the water in the vessel is boiling, so I'm going to drain this rice. and then get rid of that cold water and put the rice in the boiling water over there, and then see what happens. So I put the rice in there. I'm gonna mixing with it, and then I'm gonna taking out with this perforated spoon or whatever you want to call it. So you keep mixing it, and then keep an eye on it, and then I'll tell you when to take the first layer of rice, let the water drain completely, and put the first layer of rice on the marination, be it meat or whatever. So I'll tell you when to take the first layer of rice. So remember, this water is 3 times the volume of rice. Okay. So if you see, the water, the rice has expanded to half the level of water, and then you take some rice, pick some rice with your fingers, and then bite it and see, like, it should be a little bit hard on the inside when you chew it, and that's when you take the first layer of rice, you take the first layer of rice and then drain it well. So let all the water drain completely. You can reduce the flame a little bit at this point, because since the water is already boiling, the rice will start to cook fast. So yeah, when the level of rice is half the level of water, just take 2 or 3 grains of rice, put it, they will be a little bit hard on the inside of the rice when you chew it. Just bite it with your front teeth, and then here you go. Put the first layer. So remember, the level of rice in the water should be at least half the level of water. That's when you take out the first layer of rice, and it depends on the rice too, depends on the brand of rice and how long you soaked it. So just give it a bite with your front teeth and see that it should be a little bit hard on the inside. So that's my first layer. So that's the layer that touches the curd and everything, and the water that comes out of the meat or the marination. So that's the layer that gets cooked the most. The idea here is you don't want the rice to be overcooked, that is touching the marination, and you don't want the rice to break. Now, when you get the last layer of rice, I mean, you keep standing and stirring and checking. When the level of rice is almost at the top of the level of water, that's when you can drain the whole water out and put it on the marination. So it's not yet there, so the level of rice should be almost at the top. Now, how do you know the rice is getting overcooked? You take a grain of rice, look at the edges of the rice, to the left edge or the right edge of a grain. If it's getting transparent, that's how you know that the rice is getting overcooked and it's going to break. So don't wait until that point. Just make sure that when the level of rice is coming to a point to the top of the water, boiling water, that's when you drain the whole water. So but still make sure you stand here, keep stirring, take 2 grains, bite it, and then keep watching it. And then if it's soft on the inside, you just drain the whole thing out. So I think I'm almost there. So I'm going to take it out. Just a little bit, the water, yeah, it's almost there. So yeah, I think I can take it out. I'll just, yeah, take 2 grains, take a bite. It should be a little soft on the inside. See, if you look at the edges, I mean, I can't go too close, but they're not yet transparent, but the rice is not broken yet. So yeah, it's time to take it out. I have drained the entire water. Now I'm going to spread this on the marination. I'll just show you how to do that. So yeah, put the rice. So make sure that you don't burn yourself. So be careful. And then that's the first layer of rice. I mean, half the rice, okay? I should call it the first layer. And then you put the mint leaves, half of your coriander, and then half of your fried onions, and then you can put mint powder too instead of mint leaves. And then you can pour maybe a little bit of the oil that you used for frying the onions. Yeah, at the same time preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now on top of this, I'm gonna put the second layer of rice. So I'm gonna put the whole thing and repeat the same thing. Put the mint, coriander, fried onions, a little bit of oil. I'm also going to boil a small cup of milk with saffron in it, and I'm going to pour it at the top. So yeah, I put everything. Squeeze the lemon at the top. You can use lemon juice too. I mean lime juice. You do this for each row, I mean each layer, and then so this biryani is very safe because you can eat as much as you want, because we're not using ghee. We drain the water that we used to boil the rice, so all the starch is gone, and we're using olive oil or some canola oil or something that's very safe. So you can restrict on your oil too. And the last thing I need to put is saffron milk, and then I need to seal it with an aluminium foil. Okay, a small cup of milk. I've boiled the saffron for 30 seconds in the microwave. I'm going to use that foil, stretch the foil, cut it. After I pour the saffron milk on top of the rice, I'm going to seal it nice and tight. You don't want the moisture to escape. So after that, you toss it in the oven for like 1 hour at 350 degrees centigrade. I'll show it to you when I take it out. So you move the oven rack to the lowest point and put it there, 350 degrees. And then I gotta put it timer for 1 hour. All right, I'll take it out after 1 hour. Little bit of reality check. I cleaned up all the veggies and all the trash, and then now you gotta wash all these, clean your countertops, wash these utensils and everything. So this is not a cooking show, so there is some work involved here after also. All right, the biryani is done. I'm gonna take it out and see how I did. I can smell it. The whole house smells yummy. So I'll take it out and then let's see. Yoo-hoo! I took it out. Smells amazing. It smells amazing. Sometimes what happens is like once you take it out of the oven, leave it with the wrap on for like 10 or 15 minutes. Let it cool it down a little bit. And sometimes what happens is like the edge on the edge here, some of the rice gets hard if you don't seal it well. So you can just take the rice like that and just trash it. You go around, take the edges, just a little bit of rice around the edges, like take it, trash, take it, trash, you know, do that. And then, so yeah, in my case, it's good. The rice is good. So yeah, and then, ooh, look at that. That looks amazing. That looks amazing. And then you dig it in to get your veggies. Wow, look at that. You get the veggies, or what you can do is like you can put it in a bowl and mix it up if you want to. I usually mix it up because yeah, look at the marination that you dig from the bottom, and then you put the rice at the top. Wow, look at the rice. It smells amazing, amazing. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is Hyderabadi style biryani. Alright, I dug some, mixed it up. This is how it looks. The marination at the bottom, and then the two layers, and then you just do that and then mix it up like that. Wow, oh wow, that looks amazing. I'm gonna mix the whole thing, but yeah, that's how you do it. And then you can make some raita, that means the curd with some onions and stuff, and then you can eat it with raita. And I just want to taste a spoon of it. Hold on. Yeah, one thing, you don't want to make it unhealthy. I mean, if you're serving it to kids, I mean, you put it on a plate. You know, you can put some ghee at the top, on the top, to make it even more yummy. But as adults, I don't think we need to eat ghee. So yeah, let me taste it. Ooh, yeah, everything looks cooked. It's steaming hot though. Yeah, let me taste it. I'll tell you in a second. All I can say is yum, 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 delicioso. Amazing.